Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another SandStorm meetup. Today, I am joined by the team over at Battlefly. How are you guys doing on this lovely Friday?
Hello, hello. So it's Saturday for me. I'm from the future. Jean
Oh,
and
okay.
I are both
Where are you
speaking
guys
to you from.
located?
I'm in Australia, if you can't tell
Australia.
by my accent.
I'm
Okay.
from Singapore.
All right. All right. So yeah,
And
you guys are Saturday.
and I'm in Seoul, but I'm French.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So that's yeah, for those of you guys watching, that's why we're doing the show at 7 o'clock Eastern instead of our normal time of 12, to accommodate for different parts of the world. But yeah, so you guys are on here from Battlefly. Usually like to start the show off with a little bit of introduction for anyone out there that might not know the team or know about Battlefly. If you guys just want to give a brief intro, that would be great.
Sure, I'll do that. So I'm Ben, creator of Battlefly. Battlefly is an experimental GameFi project, part of the TreasureDAO ecosystem over on Arbitrum Layer 2. Our game is a PvP / play to earn hybrid. Players take a cocoon that they can buy in the treasure marketplace for, I think, about 50 magic, which might be about $100 equivalent at the moment. And then over the course of the next few weeks and months, as the game launches and we get season 1 underway, they reveal their Battlefly from the cocoon and then start to prepare it for battle. And to do that, they collect mods in the garden. And once they think their Battlefly is strong enough, then it's time to go head to head against other players and see how they go. And if they win magic, and if they don't, then they give magic to the other players that are more successful than them. So that's the game in a nutshell. It's I think a lot of people in this space are ready for a game with real winning and losing, and we're building obviously on top of magic, which is a token that people love.
Yeah, that's something I definitely, just reading over a little bit that I noticed is that you can actually, lose. So there is a lot of these play to earn games. It's everyone's just getting on and earning, and then there's no losing to it. But in this, like, yeah, you can actually, if you don't play the game properly, you can lose while playing.
Yeah, which some people will love. So people who read the white paper and know the strategy and sort of have a I guess a strategic approach to playing the game are probably going to have a good time. People who ape in, don't really know what they're doing, and go full degen mode might have a less successful time. But that's by design, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great, to be honest, because I think a lot of the play to earn aspects do need to be kind of a competitive format. So it's not just get on, do your daily tasks, play the game, get off, and then usually, the game ends up dying because everyone's winning and the token, it just ends up becoming valueless. So I do like the competitive aspect. I do think that it should be more of, if you're earning money, it should be the best players are earning more. So I like that. You guys do have, just recently put out a black paper. I wanted to mention this at the beginning of the show. For anyone that's watching that might want to read through this while we are doing this interview. And I will say that it does look phenomenal. You guys' black paper.
That's all Jean. Our creative director.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for your kind words. It's a labor of love, as you can see. It took some time to put together, and it's a big teamwork because we have a small team of writer dedicated. There is artists, 2D, 3D, and also graphic designers, 2 graphic designers. So it's around like 10 to 12 people involved in this black paper over a few months. And I think this is I mean, I like cooking, so I say it's like a sauce. When you play Counter-Strike, you don't really need lore because the core of the game is about killing terrorists or just not getting killed.
Yeah.
But when you play League of Legends, the same is true as well. It's a PvP game. You just kill each other. But because of the lore, you have a high capacity to build a story, and players have a higher capacity to build attachment to their characters and to situations. And also on the long run, you can see what's happening with League of Legends. They create RPG, they create new games, they create even TV series. So that's why for me having a strong lore base was a kind of nice sauce to have, and we can build on the long run on this. And he gave some amazing taste.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. Is like, you know, games like League of Legends, and you know, I've noticed games like Overwatch, and I think one of the more recent ones, Apex. Like, there's no campaign, like actual game, like story game behind it, but they do give the characters stories and they give them personalities so people can connect with those. So, yeah, it is awesome. I do highly recommend everyone in stream. I posted a link in there if you guys want to go check it out, read through the lore. Like the art on it's amazing. It looks great. So that's awesome. I did want to talk about the game. I know Ben, you know, went over and it was a lot. So I want to like go through it like piece by piece. I guess you start out like, say if I wanted to get into playing Battlefly, where would I start? You mentioned a Cocoon. Is that what I would do? I would go mint a Cocoon.
Yeah, so we actually had all 30,000 Cocoons for season 1 mint out like really quickly. It was a free mint over on TreasureDAO, so not surprising there. But there are still Cocoons sort of on the secondary market in the treasure marketplace. Yeah, so you go and buy a Cocoon, and then a Cocoon is not that much use unless it's got a Battlefly that emerges from it. So the first thing you do is go and stake it over in the Battlefly game, and gradually over 2 weeks reveal your Battlefly.
Okay, and so do you guys plan on, I guess, upping the amount of Cocoons for season 2? Because you mentioned season 1, we haven't even talked about the seasons, but I'm assuming there's going to be a season 2. Are you guys going to be doing more Cocoons for season 2?
There will, and there's a couple of things that drive that. The first one will be breeding. So two Battleflies can get together and have a cocoon, which will come out in season 2, and then of course we will be doing more drops of cocoons as we start to see demand increase for them. So yeah, there are more cocoons on the way.
Okay, so you stake your cocoon, and then you said after, do you say 2 weeks of it being staked?
Yeah, so it's a gradual reveal. Jean, do you want to talk about the core mods that your Battlefly is born with?
Yes, of course. So it's kind of equipment. Every Battlefly, it's a small robot, a small drone, and it can be equipped with 4 modes. So you have 2 modes of them. They are weapons. You can see on the video, each of them have one weapon on each side. And they have a defense system and a utility system. So defense system can be, you have a lot of type of defense, but mainly you can evade attacks, you can shield yourself, so absorb them, or you can just like have armor protection. And but you have around like 300 different mods, so I will definitely not start detailing them. And utility can be to empower your attacks, or to empower your defense, or to do just strange weird stuff like just avoiding enemies on the arena, for example, less chance or more chance to loot. And so there is kind of rock scissor shotgun strategy, because you can you cannot build a Battlefly which is invincible, which is good against everything. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And I really, I mean, I'm an avid gamer. I play for a long time, and so there is a deep loot system where you can replace your mod. You will get stuff with the various varieties, and then you can try to get synergies. You can have very interesting synergies between your traits and your other mods. That's in a nutshell how it works.
Nice. And so you have, I want to know if I was reading this correctly, that you have 4 weeks to stake your Battlefly, and you have to stake it alongside with magic to gain these different abilities, different weapons and stuff to pretty much build your Battlefly before you stake it for battle.
That's right. So that's you release your Battlefly, and the you've got the mods that you find out. No one's getting. I mean, the thing about Battlefly is very few, sort of 70 people maybe out of the 30,000 mints are getting anything that's particularly special as part of this reveal phase. Most people start with core mods. The other thing that's really cool, though, is that your Battlefly's wing art is revealed. It's wing armor, which is a pretty key part of the game as well. And part of this is we've got about 15,000 Genesis Battleflies, which are generative art that we've created, but then about half of them are partner wing art. And Matthew, it's probably worth you talking about all the partners that we've got on board with our collabs.
Yeah. So during this period, we towards launch, we had over 90 plus different partners that we've tried to work with, and you can see them on our Battlefly Editions website. We have all the display of all the different wing art that we have from different partners. So you have Kaiju Kings, you have Karafuru. So we really love that they were very game and on with us, and just started doing all this wing art together with us. Yeah. So I'm
So the
really,
thing is,
really
you don't
looking
know
forward.
what your Battlefly
Yeah.
is going to look like until it's revealed, which is kind of part of the fun. So all over Twitter in the past few days, it's been pretty cool to see people sort of revealing their Battleflies and digging their look.
And so you guys are partnered up with like you mentioned Kaiju Kings and Karafura, that you're partnered with them and they've helped design, I guess, different wing arts for Battleflies.
Yeah, it was a pleasure working with all the different partner leads from different projects, and we really would like to, just show the L1 people that we're having a little party here over in Arbitrum, and everyone's game, and that's a really good sign that we are seeing.
Is this the FOMO Mofo one, Matthew, on screen right now, I think, which is one of my favorites.
That's awesome.
Our favorite, actually.
Oh, is it? Okay. It's beautiful.
I don't know why, like I'm thinking of like NASCAR, and I don't know if it's the Kentuckian in me, but I'm thinking of NASCAR and like product placement. If major brands that wanted to get into like the space and like, this game is huge and they're like, yo, we want to have like a Coca-Cola Battlefly, like that would be possible. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah. It's part of the design of the NFT character is when we were sort of thinking about what does this look like, having this big wing canvas to be able to put whatever artwork or brands or anything we wanted on there has been really good. And we've had a bunch of really talented artists as well as a few brands reach out and say they just want to create Battleflies, and we're like, absolutely, like go for it. And as we get into season 2, anyone who wants to be part of this, whether you're a brand who wants to sort of join the Battlefly ecosystem, or you're another NFT project that wants to give your your own sort of project wallet holders their own Battlefly, just reach out to Machu Picchu. We're always keen to collab wherever we can.
Yeah, because come season 2, you guys are going to mint all new Battleflies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And what's going to happen to the season 1 Battleflies?
They keep rolling on. One of the core things about Battleflies that people haven't fully understood yet is that they do have a battery life. So you have to recharge your battery with Nectar in game, and you earn Nectar primarily by being not very good at battling. So if you're good, you get lots of magic. If you're bad, you get lots of Nectar. But if you're successful, you need Nectar to keep your Battlefly operating. You need to recharge its battery, and there are risks that if you let your Battlefly run out of battery, it can never be recharged. So we do expect there to be deflation on the number of Battleflies over time, because some people will be making so much ROI from playing the game that they'll make the decision to to run it into the ground and
awesome.
Almost burn it.
I like that you guys mentioned that you want it to be equal for everyone. So there's no real advantage, I guess, to staking like a whole bunch of magic. Like it doesn't, it doesn't give you better chances at getting a better upgrade to your Battlefly, correct?
So there are you can do two things to improve your mods. The first, or the likelihood of getting good mods in season 1. The first thing is to stake treasures from TreasureDAO, and they don't just boost your chances of getting Battleflies. Good mods. They boost the chances of everyone who's in your server with you. So you and 99 other Battleflies all benefit from your benevolence of you staking your treasures.
Yeah.
We think that's a really important sort of collaborative gameplay thing that hopefully people enjoy. And then you can also stake Nectar as well. Jean, do you want to talk about staking Nectar and how people earn
Yes.
Nectar?
Yeah, of course. So the system here is that you will earn Nectar in many ways. Nectar is a kind of in-game currency, and the Nectar will be used as well for many functions. But one of them is recharging batteries, as Ben discussed before, and also, you can see as the Hyperdome, it just shows a video of the Hyperdome. So you have all the Battlefly flying around, and two will be chosen randomly every 3 minutes and go in the middle and fight. And the winner will receive magic, part of the stake of the loser, and the loser will receive Nectar. So basically, the more you lose, the more you have currency to spend. And there is many ways to upgrade your loot. If you want, you have a global loot table, and when you are in a server with other people who stake treasure, you get the benefit of it. So the more people stake treasure, the more the global loot table will be upgraded. Think of it like an upgrade plane ticket, and you can stake Nectar as well for the same purpose. So you have many ways to increase this percentage, and actually the only way to get the best loot in the game is when you have all these bonus together. Right now, from day one, it's literally impossible to have a legendary drop. You will get a legendary when after a few days or maybe a week, I'm not sure about this, you will have this collaborative effort to achieve better loot. And to go back to Nectar, so you can stake Nectar to get better loot, and you can use it as well for a variety of function. Like if you want to change the name of your Battlefly, for example, you can use Nectar.
Nice. So, we're looking at the dome here, and you said that it's random based on the ones that are staked. It's random on which ones battle.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. It's an idle game, so you can leave that on your screen and look at it. It's for season 1, a lot of the functions are idle.
Oh, okay. So you I could literally stake, leave my house, and my Battlefly will battle while I'm not home.
Absolutely, and you come back, you will see the result, what you win, what you lost, how much. If you are in the garden, you will receive a report of all the mods you got, and you will select, okay, I keep this one, I discard this one. If you discard it, you will receive maybe some Nectar from it, and then you can just check out once a day or twice a day, or you can even leave it alone for 3 days. You will have stuff to do when you come back.
Nice. Awesome. That's cool. Do you guys ever plan, I guess, on doing a more, interactive game, where I guess you pick different moves that your Battlefly is doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So season 1 is an idle strategy game where it's very micro. It's like one Battlefly versus one Battlefly, and there's a some RNG that makes all that happen.
Yeah.
Season 2, we start to look more at what team play looks like, so that instead of just 1v1, it's more about what does a swarm of Battleflies do against another swarm. Then my goal is that as we get deeper into this, 6-12 months away, that we start to be able to, I guess, have two types of games. One is this more idle DeFi game, which for people who are interested in yield and farming and strategy, they'll really love. And then an interactive game where gamers who want to be able to pilot their Battlefly around and pew pew against other Battleflies get to do that as well, because like we think there's a lot of things we can do with this, and the combat engine and the combat system that Jean and team have developed is, I think, one of the most sophisticated sort of combat engines that would be powering any DeFi game. So there's a lot we can do with it in the coming months and even years.
Yeah. And I guess we're watching two Battleflies fight right now. You said that in the white paper, does it kind of give you kind of a strategy guide on like how to build a better Battlefly, or do you kind of just have to learn as you go? Like, okay, well, this didn't work and like this works.
Well, that's. I mean, I'll let Jean answer this, but this is why it's experimental, right? Is we're saying that in everything we do, because season 1, there's, I think, almost 300 mods now. Jean can't stop seem to creating them, create them, which is awesome. But it means the meta is going to take a long time to figure out. And so deliberately in season 1, we're kind of making this a smaller game. You'll be staking less. You're not going to be able to go and stake 500 magic against your Battlefly and battle and get yourself into trouble. It'll be a smaller game, and we create space for players to really figure out, what sort of Battlefly do they want? Do they want to go more attack, more defense, or more balanced? And Jean, do you want to talk about those sub strategies that people might play? Because I think some people will just be like wanting to go all out attack, and other people will just want to survive and kind of meet halfway.
Yeah, so especially the first week, there is a kind of buff called Power of the Youth. So that gives you more critical. So that means from day one, if you want to go arena, not farming, not doing anything, you can go, and you basically count on the luck of the roll. So it's really for lovers of battery, because you come to make high critical. It's a lot of more damage, but it's very random. So it's for people who don't want to think too much and just like degen. After, I think there will be some meta, but as Ben mentioned, I don't think it will be so easy to figure out, because there is different types of defense, different types of attack. I will recommend definitely players to get the best mod they can, and if I think somebody which is observant and which is checking carefully what he install, like if you see, he has a tray that increase missile damage, and he only install missile mod, that will be good. And this person will get probably better chances in the arena than somebody that just blindly install mods. I think that will be a first layer of strategy, is observing your losses, why you lost, and if you see that you lost your last 5 match because you get your shield burns, because everybody is playing kinetic, but then you play against kinetic and you will probably win.
Nice, awesome. And can you actually watch other people's battles? So if you just wanted to kind of strategize and see what's working for someone else, like you're able to watch in on someone's battle?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you can. And one of the things that I'm really interested to see how it plays out is because we're building our own in-game marketplace for Battleflys. It's really important, we think, that you can have these staked in the game and earning magic, or at least battling, while also have it for sale. And so while Cocoons and our founder NFTs are all for sale on the Treasure Marketplace, Battleflys will be you'll be able to work the asset in game as well as have it listed for sale in the marketplace. And that means, though, that if you lose a battle to a Battlefly and you see that it's for sale, you might go and snipe that Battlefly from the marketplace straight away, and then you own it, right? So people will have to be really careful about how they think about, letting other people just come and snipe their Battlefly if they're away from keyboard for 8 hours and they've got it listed there and suddenly it starts winning. Some of our watchers might decide that it belongs in their squadron.
Yeah. And now if someone was to, I guess no, they wouldn't get that. I was going to ask if they bought your Battlefly like as it was winning and you weren't there, like would they be able to claim your rewards?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. So you guys have,
but there is a scenario where you've got your Battlefly listed in the marketplace, and it's it's collecting mods, and you're not up to date on the strategy, and you don't update the value of it, right? And suddenly it's collected a legendary mod, and you still have it listed for 50 magic or whatever it is, and somebody comes along and says that's now worth 10 times that. This is a game that by design is rewards people who understand the gameplay and invest time in the strategy, and it's not going to be a lot of fun for speculators, I don't think, and that's by design.
Nice. And Riviera has a question here. Do playing transactions require is that a Arbitrum Ethereum transaction, or will it only be in-game gas free? Wait, what?
Yeah, so you'll need some ETH, which is Arbitrum Ethereum, to buy your Battlefly from the marketplace. You'll need it to stake it into the in-game contract so that your Battlefly can then battle. But once it's in there, we're doing a lot of the battle off chain to try and minimize gas fees, and hopefully you're going to be able to work with Chainlink VRF soon as well to provide proof of randomness as we do that, so that people can be confident that that it's all fair.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be a very low gas game once you're in and running in it. You'll pay gas once you kind of withdraw from the game, if you want to go and move your Battleflies between wallets or sell them on another marketplace.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And then you guys do have other NFTs with the game. I mean, we talked about the Cocoons, the Battleflys, the Nectar. You guys also have the AI trait cards and also founders NFTs. If you want to just talk about those real quick.
Yeah. Jean, do you want to talk to AI trait cards? A little sneak peek what's to come. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah. So up to you, Ben.
Well, you can see. I think this is Suro, one of our AI.
Yes, you can see Tsuro. That's one of our IA. It's actually the hero of our upcoming comic, but let's not speak about this now. So there is 10 IA in the game that are basically battling over both the network and the remains of Earth. And at the end of season 1, the Battlefly will be able to join them. And joining the IA, because they are recruiting, they need soldiers and armies. And joining the IA will be a very, very good move, because each IA will give you a special power, which is more like a class in a traditional, D&D term, if you want. So it's more than a trace, more like just a bonus or +5 movement or +5 evasion. It will be something that literally change a little bit the way your Battlefly plays. So super cool. And people during this phase, which call Ascension phase, players will be competing, because we are PvP at the core. There's always this idea of competition. The resource cannot be shared. Not everybody can have it. Sorry, there will be some blood, or in this case, some pieces of circuits and graphene, and so there will be IA card around 500, and this IA card will be both used for the future wars between this IA, and will be also a kind of Battlefly generators that are capable to imprint Battlefly directly from your faction. So we really want to have this kind of guild wars in the future at many layers, at this faction layer, at this power level, and of course at the guild level. Okay, that's all for my part. I let Ben.
Yeah, it's cool, and you can see how deep the gameplay is going there. Jean and team are kind of wizards at what they're building out here, and there's a lot of depth to it still to come. The founder NFTs basically have enabled us to build a bit of a war chest and a treasury, because a huge part of the treasure ecosystem and Magic, the token that runs it, is around getting as much of the future Magic emissions as we can. And the way Battlefly is thinking about that is we have built this treasury that currently has about 3.5 million Magic in it. We've got that Magic staked. We're earning more emissions, and we flow those emissions into the game to help deliver a better level of gameplay. And one of the first ways that comes out is through this idea of insurance emissions. So if you're in the top 75% of all players, you'll have either a net zero or positive ROI for the game. If you're in the bottom 25%, bad luck, you get a lot of nectar. And we're able to do that, which we think is a bit of a game changer, certainly for PvP, P2E. The odds are stacked in the favor of the players. We're able to do that because we've got this treasury. So our founders' NFTs basically own that treasury. When you buy a founder's NFT, you can, or you will be able to soon redeem that for the underlying magic and burn it if you want, which we hope you don't do, because it means we reduce the size of our treasury. But you can, but you can also sell them on the marketplace. And as we do our own token drop coming soon, which will give royalties and emissions from our treasury and the gameplay and lots of benefits. They'll be going to our founder NFT holders. So yeah, there's lots of ways to play the game. And some people, like we had, Blackpool as an institution within the NFT space by, they bought 50 of them, and other people have just got one because they believe in Battlefly.
Yeah, there
are also some advantages to mod collection as well that you get by holding a founder NFT.
Nice. And I did hear you just say that you guys are going to do your own token. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It'll be a governance token. It won't be designed to really play the game, but we're a team of almost 30 people now. We've got 2,220 founders on board, and we've got a lot of people who want to be part of what we're building. So we do need a token that ties all that together from a governance perspective and enables us to as a team and as a community start to build this out over the next few years in a way that is trustless and as on chain as possible.
Yeah,
it can't always be Jean and I just thinking up crazy ideas and shipping them. We need to get to the hive mind at some point.
Yeah, because I want to, transition from gameplay to talk about more of like the token and you guys working with Treasure, which we had Treasure on the show maybe a month ago or so. And the whole game is built with Treasure and using the magic token, which if you want to talk a little bit about like how involved Treasure is and, has it been a good experience? Because I know it does come with the liquidity of the magic token, which is probably nice to have that for the game.
Yeah, I think when you look at where we've been able to get to in just a few months in terms of the size of the community that we've got, and we're probably 140,000 people across Discord and Twitter already, and how much great gameplay we've been able to develop and where our attention's gone, building on top of an existing ecosystem is what it has enabled us to do that, right? Because we haven't had to do everything ourselves from scratch. Magic, has been conceived by Treasure to be the currency of the connected metaverse, and what that means is that we're seeing ways that we can really connect in with other games, really, really easily. So whether it's them bringing their assets into Battlefly, or them using Battleflys within their in-game sort of playability as utility, Magic and Treasure kind of make that a really seamless way to connect, because the one thing we can all agree on is that one Magic right now is worth whatever the market says it is. And then we can design gameplay that is more sustainable. So it's been a real constraint, because we've seen a lot of other projects, even in the time that we've been building, sort of come, launch, they have this token, it shoots up, everybody farms, dumps it, it drops back down, and the game kind of disappears. It can happen in the space of a month. We are trying to build something with Battlefly that will be here for years and will be playable across not just browser, but across mobile devices, native apps, maybe even consoles one day. Maybe there'll be a comic, as Jean said. There'll be a whole bunch of things in this world. And so we need sustainability, and building on top of Magic is a big part of that. We are starting to introduce treasures as well as treasure sinks within our game, which enable people to either unlock special characteristics or get better weapons and things like that, and that will just increase more and more over time as we start to connect. The other thing that the Treasure ecosystem is doing is enabling partnerships to be really kind of deep rather than superficial. So, as we start to get into season 2 and 3, you will see partner NFTs be able to be staked within our game, and the only way you'll be able to get some mods in the future will be by staking NFT from another project in the garden and locking it up. And so this sort of interoperable utility, we think people are just going to love, because it creates diversity of gameplay and depth of gameplay that no one project can do by themselves. You need an ecosystem like Treasure to actually pull that off.
Yeah. And I think, what they're doing and kind of like what NFT Worlds is doing and kind of helping projects, like you said, not just release a token and then it gets farmed to hell and then just dumped and then the game dies because no one's earning anything. Plus, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the earning aspect comes from more of like a wager, essentially, because, not everyone's earning. Like, someone has to lose for someone to earn, right?
Yeah, it's a game of skill, right? Ultimately, not it's not wagering. That's important from a regulatory perspective. But it is a game of skill. And the skill is the Battlefly that you build, when you decide to enter it, and there is of course some RNG, which is simply which Battlefly you're selected to compete against. But any player that comes at this game with a strategy and executes on that strategy well should be in the bracket of people that win and earn ROI as a result. So yeah, I think our community is ready for these sorts of games. Like, people want to start competing based on strategy rather than just being early, being first, or kind of getting some inside alpha that has enabled them to flip.
Nice. And another big part of you guys' white paper that I did want to talk about is the Flywheel. So what exactly is the Flywheel?
Matthew, this is one for you. This is your baby.
Yeah. So we have a treasury team that has been working on this new product called the Flywheel that we offer creators to leverage on Battlefly's treasury, as Ben mentioned earlier on. So we call this staking as a service, where all the project owners or project leads or creators are able to, build their own emissions and have their own connected in-game economies. And of course, what we're seeing right now is that there's more and more trend of people trying to build their projects on Arbitrum, on L2, right? So some of them have not heard of Treasure at all. So what we're trying to do is we're also trying to connect them to Treasure and also introduce Flywheel as a way to sustain their project in the long term, because we tend to see projects just build and then eventually just die off. So this is something that we want to avoid. And then there's this thing that we would like to slowly introduce in the future. We call it authenticity by process. Now, so with all these different projects that are working with Treasure, that is launching their projects on Treasure as well, so we get to actually advise them on their tokenomics, or advise them on their white paper on the product that they are building, and that is actually offered by our treasury team that is managing this portion as well. So we offer them actual advices and any legal help that they require as well. So this Shinobi is not here. He's our treasury manager that we work very closely with. And yeah, so with regards to Flywheel, we have already launched our first actual official partner, which is Small Love. We've promised them to give them a shout out. So with this on, we have 9 other partners that we are soon to be introducing. And we want you to know that aside from the game itself, behind the scenes, we're working on all these systems so that we want to grow together with all the different projects with Battlefly.
Awesome. And I guess what do you guys get out of like a project launching with you with Flywheel?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. firstly, it's good for the ecosystem. Like Battlefly is here to be a force for good within the TreasureDAO ecosystem, and the more quality builders we can have that can have time and space to build really well and not have to sort of launch a token and make sure they get it 100% right. I think, just as a side note, the toughest thing about building games in Web3 that a lot of people are smashing into at speed is that the immutability of smart contracts means that if you don't get your tokenomics right day one, you can be very, very hard to adjust them even a month later. And if you think about everything else in technology, it's, we've moved to this point of you've learned new information, you adjust. And so the pressure to launch with tokenomics that get some initial hype, get some initial engagement, are then sustainable long term, are inflation proof, are speculation proof, still have enough emissions that a year from now you can change your mind and do something else. It's almost too much. And I think Treasure with Magic has landed on that and built enough liquidity. It's sort of $50 million US worth of liquidity in there to be here for the long term. So we're trying to give other builders time and space. In return, we get this more vibrant ecosystem that we can, hopefully be part of and grow together. And then we do take a 10% commission on the emissions that flow through Flywheel, which we're not using to buy, holiday houses in the south of France, but rather we're using to buy, the valuable NFTs that power the harvesters, that power the Atlas mines and Bridgeworld, and keep the whole thing spinning along. And just in the last 24 hours, we've bought, I don't know, 17 or 18 really quite valuable NFTs straight off the marketplace, because we're really encouraged by how many builders want to use Flywheel to get their games running, and it just means that we're going to need a big stash of NFTs to make all that work.
Yeah, so it's all flowing back into the Treasure ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And you mentioned one project that you guys are launching with, but you guys do plan to have, there's already 10 projects on board, right? You guys want to announce any of the other ones?
Yeah, so we will be announcing this one in 12 hours time. The next one will be Small Potions. This is the second project, and the fact is, we've worked with them so closely. We've understood that this project, how the team is like, and everyone is just so capable, and it's really our honor to it's a pleasure to work with them. So the other 8 more projects they are launching, we are gonna be keeping them a secret as of now, because we want to build this hype of 10 partners, and of course these 10 partners are the ones that we really consider them to be the first Flywheel partners that hop on board with us.
All right, I just ask if we got any alpha for the stream, but I understand hyping it up, and no, I fully understand. I did also want to talk about partnerships you guys do have. One of them that you mentioned is Clock Snatcher DAO. Now, what is Clock Snatcher, and what is your guys' partnership with them?
Yeah, this sort of goes deep into the DeFi part of what Treasure is building with Bridgeworld and the role that Battlefly Treasury is trying to play there. So, in the coming, I guess firstly, if you've not had a chance yet to read the Bridgeworld white paper, go get yourself enough snacks for sort of 8 hours and dive in. It's incredible. Like End, who's creating this along with John Patton, it's next level in terms of the depth, and Treasure has its own economist, Peter, who's just taking it up to a whole new level as well, as they start to model Bridgeworld on real life economies. It's just fascinating. But what we've understood is that there's incredible depth to optimizing emission from Bridgeworld. Clock Snatcher DAO are a bunch of Magic and Treasure maxis. Were very early. Their understanding of the gameplay, how to optimize, is we think second to none. And so they're going to be working with us in 2 ways. One is Treasury advisory. So they're in part of our core team, literally saying, hey, like we did a big sweep of the floor on Genesis Legions yesterday, and that came through some of their analysis to go, hey, we're going to need a lot more of these to run in the harvesters. The price seems good, and so we just went and made it happen. So that's really useful because it gives us an advantage there and gives all of our builders who are part of Flywheel an advantage as well. The second part is that a lot of the Clock Snatcher DAO members have a lot of their own valuable NFTs, and they're going to be basically a production engine for us as we get into the harvesters, where we need a whole bunch of consumables to get those up and running and to get them running at maximum utility. And so, we're working with the Clock Snatcher team to get them producing those harvester parts that we can then drag into the game and hopefully generate a lot of yield for everyone involved in Battlefly and around it.
Awesome.
Sometimes, a simple answer is sometimes you need to hire people smarter than yourself to do these things. And it's been true of gameplay, obviously with Jean, and I think it's true of Clock Snatcher and optimizing for Bridgeworld.
Yeah, and it's not bad to have some partnerships. Do you guys have any other partnerships that we have not discussed on the show yet that you'd like to talk about?
I think look some alpha that we'll be announcing in the next day is that building on top of Clock Snatcher is that we have the Clock Snatcher 1 of 1 NFT as well now. So that takes there's only 5 1 of 1 legions across all of Bridgeworld, each of them with a massive boost relative to the other NFTs in the ecosystem, and we've been able to get the second. So that's a huge deal. Partnering with Uncle Pennybags, who is well known in the ecosystem, to make that happen is a huge deal.
Nice. And I do want to kind of, we talked about the back end stuff. I do want to kind of go back to the game because you're doing seasons. And oh my bad, my son's yelling in my room. Season 2, what is that kind of gonna look like?
Yeah, Jean, do you want to take this? I think it's you're thinking about swarms and things like that.
Yeah. So a little bit of stories. There is this kind of huge rift that appears in the sky, and so for the full season 1, we will be battling on the satellites that you see, the Hyperdome. We'll be battling on a ring around the Earth, kind of ring world. And then for season 2, we'll go to Earth and we'll go to the Rift. So the Rift will be really cool because that's where we are going to have an arena which is mixing and blending all the main Treasure ecosystem worlds. So we are going to have a lot of fun there. And we will see glimpses of the bridge world, we will see glimpses of Smallverse, and so on. And so that's for where the game is going in a kind of storytelling perspective. We go to explore the Earth, and we go to see the Rift, we go to touch all these weird worlds. And in terms of gameplay perspective, that's where we are going to have guild and group play. So still in terms of gameplay, we're still exploring like group battles and swarms. So where you can gather 10, 20 Battlefly together, and you become like, you've seen this picture of swarms of drones in the sky where you have hundreds of them and they are moved together as one force. So this is where we are going. I don't want to spoil too much.
How often are you guys going to change seasons?
It's a good question. We're planning 12-week seasons at the moment. That may increase or decrease a little bit as we get deeper into them. But season 1 is planned to be 12 weeks, and then season 2 is also planned to be 12 weeks.
Okay.
The important thing that happens between seasons is that similar to what happens in like a game like Fortnite, where you keep your character playing, you keep all your skins and things like that, but a whole bunch of stuff is nerfed and you start again.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a really important transition between season 1 and season 2 because we think we'll learn a lot from season 1 that we want to either uplift or course correct in season 2.
Yeah. And how long has season 1 been going so far?
Well, it hasn't really started yet. Like it will kick off in May with the launch of the first DeFi game. It'll run then for about 12 weeks from then. We do have a mini game coming out soon, which sort of sits outside of the seasons, called Battlefly Racer, which is designed to be a prelude to the game starting. You kind of pilot your Battlefly and collect as much Nectar as you can, which is going to be useful when season 1 kicks off.
Great. Well, we are coming up on almost towards the end of the show. I usually like to ask, goals for the team, like the next 6 months. Like, what is Battlefly's, I guess, vision, and how do you plan to keep delivering on what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so I think the big three for us is launch a sustainable game that people love, and people love because it's fun to play and not just because they can farm and dump yield. That's number one. Number two is really get some good partnerships going. So we've got all these great collab additions for Battlefly already. We're thinking of ways that we can start to give them their own battles, and NFT projects that have a Battlefly edition can call out their opponents and go head to head, and we'll give them prizes and try and create, as Matthew said, a bit of a house party vibe within the Hyperdome. And hopefully some of those are so kind of exciting that people want to stream them, and people actually want to kind of watch them even if they're not playing, just because the outcome's going to be so interesting. And then thirdly, the goal for the team is really to try and build something that we can just continue to expand the world of across, going deeper into DeFi and almost gamifying banking in some respects and gamifying yield on one length, and then down the other end of that sort of spectrum, creating gameplay that's just fun and that people just want to do because it's entertaining. I think if we can bridge those two worlds, like have a game that is truly entertaining to play, and you can also get some yield from if you're half decent at it, we will be a long way towards creating something that will be successful in this ecosystem and market.
Yeah, and you mentioned watching like on like a stream or something like that, and it just made me think of Rumble Kongs. I know they're wanting to do stuff in the Sandbox to where like they can live stream their matches in the Sandbox. You guys ever plan, I guess, on doing anything like that? Like even working in the Sandbox to maybe build like a social hub for Battlefly, or like a place where people can go and hang out and meet other Battlefly holders and maybe potentially watch matches?
Yeah, absolutely. The land, like Sandbox land, was actually the first NFT I ever bought. I've still got it there and ready to be used. And so when I think as we get deeper into season 2 and season 3, and we start to create these Hyperdome events that are going to be really watchable, and for a few reasons. One, it might be winner takes all. So there's a big pot, and whoever is the last Battlefly standing gets it. Secondly, people are playing for pink slips. So if your Battlefly loses, it's burned, and you don't have that NFT anymore. Again, for big prizes. Or thirdly, we've got NFT projects going head to head to find out which of the L1 NFT collabs is the ruler of them all. All of those, I think, are going to be sort of moments within Battlefly that we want to make bigger than Discord, and certainly bigger than just a live stream. And so, yeah, absolutely, we're keen to explore what we can do in places like the Sandbox to create hangout spaces and create some big event moments that people can come together in and be part of.
Awesome. Well, anyone watching the stream, make sure you guys do check out Battlefly. Twitters and their socials have been linked in the chat. Go to the website. Like I said, read over their white paper, read over the black paper, join the Discord. And I appreciate you guys coming on today. It was a good talk.
Thank you for having us. It's been awesome, and thank you to everyone in our community who's hopefully enjoyed the sneak peeks that you've got to see today. And we're so excited to get the game underway in the next few weeks.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the space and this opportunity. It was really cool. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for coming on. I mean, the show would literally just be me rambling if no one came here to ramble with me. So I appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure you guys are following the stream. We will be live again on Monday, 12 o'clock Eastern. And follow us on Twitter as well. And everyone have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Cheers.